I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. 7-fit flex on the jacks on that. Like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. 7-fit flex on the jacks on that. Like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. 7-fit flex on the jacks on that. Like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. 7-fit flex on the jacks on that. Like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. 7-fit flex on the jacks on that. Like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. 7-fit flex on the jacks on that. Like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. 7-fit flex on the jacks on that. Like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. 7-fit flex on the jacks on that. Like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. 7-fit flex on the jacks on that. Like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. 7-fit flex on the jacks on that. then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back. They wonder how I do it like that. 7-fit flex on the jacks on that. Hey, 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 everybody. Hey there, everybody. I want to welcome everybody that was able to make it. Hey, Snaky flew in and say, hi, bye, bye. Not that. Like, where did that come from? Anyway, thank y'all for actually joining. Thank you for flying in. I'm going to actually get started. Why? This just literally got dropped on the table for me. I want to welcome everybody, all my queen kings and things, all my stalkers, all my nosiers, all my snitchers. Hey, just keep watching. Maybe you'll learn some. Hashtag, yeah, I said it, now what? So let's get to the moral of this story. The moral of this story is I'm not understanding why is there children in prison for life. I mean, I haven't heard this whole story, but I do know this. We do have a lot of children in prison that's been in prison since they were like 12 and 13 years old. And from what I'm hearing, some of these kids are in prison for robbery for the rest of their life. So I'm going to jump into this story because I got some damn questions. And I'm trying to understand, like, what the hell actually happened. So let me kind of get rid of you. And I'm about to get started. This video came from ABC Action News. It's 7 minutes and 16 seconds long. And I just want to hear exactly what's going on. And why do we have children in prison so long since teenagers? I don't know. It could be a good reason. Then it could be an exaggerated reason. Then it could be, okay, you need to be gone longer than life. We're about to see now.
Team investigation.
Yeah, we want you to take a look at these photos behind me. The children here are only 12, 13, and 14 years old, but juries convicted them of murder.
And this teenager was convicted of attempted murder right here in Florida. They're among the youngest offenders in the country to be sentenced to prison as adults. And now our I-team is listening to what they experienced in prison, especially their time in solitary confinement.
Nothing had mentally prepared me for what I was going to experience.
That's Ian Manuel. He was sentenced to life without parole, but a Supreme Court ruling allowed his sentence to be reduced.
And since his release, he's fought to change how Florida prisons treat their youngest inmates. New tonight, I-team investigator reporter Kylie McGivern brings us this story from the very beginning.
I'm in downtown Tampa, across from City Hall and the police department, where Ian Manuel shot Debbie Bakery in a botched robbery in 1990 at 13 years old. She would go on to forgive Manuel and petition for his release. We traveled to West Palm Beach recently, where he spoke at a conference about prisoners re-entering society.
One of the first poems I wrote was called Genie in the Bottle, and it's about growing up in solitary confinement. I'm the genie in the bottle. The world has forgot. They put me in this abyss and closed up the top. I was a little boy when they did what they did, but time continued to tick, and I'm no longer a kid.
I tapped into the depths of my imagination to survive. I started writing poetry, and poetry sustained me.
They say being lonely and alone are two different definitions, but it's only me in this bottle. So I fit both descriptions.
When I first walked into the Florida Department of Corrections on May 10th, 1991.
We are showing when Manuel was booked because of his young age. It's because of that, Manuel says, he was first placed in solitary confinement.
It was just something very difficult for a child to have to experience. It stunted my development.
Manuel would spend 18 years in various levels of confinement and shared his story to a room that included employees from the Department of Corrections.
I've never spoken to a crowd with DOC officials in the audience, particularly people that were in charge of my confinement.
To be clear, Florida isolates children in both its adult and juvenile facilities. But instead of solitary confinement, the Department of Corrections calls the practice close management. And there are 3 different levels of restrictions. No one from the department would do an interview, but instead, FDC sent us a statement saying close management is used only when an inmate's behavior presents a clear threat to the safety of others or the orderly operations of the institution. FSU's Juvenile Solitary Confinement Project, through public records requests, has estimated that on any given day, 26% of juveniles sentenced as adults are in confinement.
Think about it really as state sanctions and state-sponsored child abuse.
Marsha Levick is the co-founder of Juvenile Law Center.
It's the first nonprofit public interest law firm for children in the country.
What would you say to folks who say, well, these are children who made a very adult decision when they committed these crimes, and this is the punishment?
Well, the first thing I would say is that's a ridiculous statement because kids are not making adult decisions when they commit crime. They are still developing, and that their ability to make smart decisions is not fully developed.
Catherine Jones works for the Campaign for the Fair Sentencing of Youth.
Helping them get the resources and the tools they need to adjust to a free society.
Jones can speak to the challenges because she lived it. At 13 years old, she and her 12-year-old brother were among the first juveniles in the country to be sentenced as adults for the murder of their father's girlfriend.
I shot Nicole Spates.
With a firearm?
Yes, sir.
I never wanted to be interpreted that when I talk about my experiences of the trauma, the abuse, the sexual abuse that happened to me when I was younger, that somehow that sounds like justification, because you know, the victim is the person who's no longer living. But the truth of the matter is I was a 13-year-old girl that was sexually abused by a convicted sex offender that was allowed in my space. The system did fail. Nothing was done.
I'm confused. I'm like totally confused. Now I'm tapping into systems and I'm tapping into different conversations. But one thing that I didn't tap in, that's for the youth. And I do know that there are so many teenagers that are victims. There are so many children that are victims of adults. And instead of us listening to these children, the only thing that we deem fit to do, especially in the state of our Republican state of Florida, the best defense is to throw them behind bars, not take them through any type of therapy to even understand what happens. I'm looking at this young lady and I'm sick to my stomach to know that this kid was a victim. This kid was in a cruel situation where it seems as though no adults even heard her. And the system failed her. Not just the system failed her, adults failed her. Life seemed to have failed her. I want to know, why is it that the first defense of weapon is to just put someone in jail and just lock them behind bars for the rest of their life as victims? I mean, I don't want to take this into me, but I'm going to stand firm for victims. I'm going to stand firm for innocent. And I really don't give a F about a person's past. It depends on what you're telling me about their past. Because in all honesty, we all have a past. I mean, the difference is some of our past didn't catch up with our stink asses. Some of our pasts didn't. And we just happen to not get caught. But that don't make you a goddamn angel or a saint. That makes you an angel and a saint walking in the eyes of other people who don't know that your stink ass got skeletons in your damn closet. That's what it is. And the one that gonna beat you up with the skeletons in the closet is the conscience. Now, this young lady, 13 years old, was sexually abused, mistreated. And you're telling me that she sat in prison as a 13-year-old and she didn't have a chance to even have her voice heard. She didn't even have a chance to, honestly, she didn't even have a chance to live in the world. This young lady didn't even have a chance to really understand or experience what a monthly is. She didn't have a chance to experience what administration is. She didn't have the chance to experience how it is to feel in her own body. And someone else victimized her rights. And then you're going to explain to me that the best recourses was to throw her in a prison and just lock her away like she was in a dungeon. So nobody thought the time to even listen to this baby, not until she become an adult. Man, y'all talking about a person going through mental health. Man, God damn it. I keep telling y'all it ain't mental health, it's mental life. People go through mental life. This is called mental life. And imagine how some people paths get turned.
About it. So at that point, I felt like everybody is responsible for what's happening. Nobody's stopping this. And all I knew was that I wanted it to be done and I wanted to be out of that house. And so I made the decision to do something about it, a decision that I deeply, deeply regret.
Jones got out of that house, but went into being housed in the Florida Department of Corrections for 16 years, months at a time in solitary confinement.
Solitary confinement was a version of what I feel would be hell on earth. One of my first memories of that time was a lady next door to me hanging herself. And I only got out of solitary confinement because a male guard sexually assaulted me. And so they told me if I wrote a statement retracting what I said, saying I misunderstood what he did, that they would release me out of confinement.
I wish that it was within my power to take people out of confinement.
Manuel, now released from his.
So she got victimized at home. Then she killed the perpetrator. Then she got sentenced to prison as an adult. I mean, she didn't even get the opportunity to use a self-defense as her defense. So nobody even heard. I mean, I got to find this story because she was victimized on top of victimized, on top of being victimized. And then she turned around and went to prison. And now she was being victimized by the deputies there. You got to be kidding me. And then she, at her young age, the only way she was able to get out of solitary confinement was to recant her statement. I wonder where that statement is at now. I wonder where that statement is at now. I wonder, is she in a position to where maybe she should go back and fight for her rights? If she's already won one thing, she got rid of the person that violated her without her permission, and as a child who didn't even have authority to really even use her own voice at the time. So now I wonder, is she allowed to go and open up a case with the Department of Justice? I mean, some people don't want to do stuff like that, but that's kind of like the situation that I was in and still in, because as I said, I got set on house arrest last year, but God knows, I swear, something I didn't do. And the only reason why I was accused because of my height, because of my appearance, because I wear heels, because I'm a firm person. But I got accused of something I didn't do because she had the title of being pregnant. A judge and no one else even gave me a reason as to why I was on house arrest. He denied the motion and threw me on house arrest because she said she was pregnant. And I'm fighting that now, opening up a case and filing a complaint with the Department of Justice. I wonder if statute of limitation is too late for her. I mean, because I don't understand. How could the statute of limitation, there's no statute of limitation for murder. But when someone sexually assaults you while in prison for murder, that carries a statute of limitation. Something is wrong with a corrupt system.
Prison cell, the bottle, as he described in his poem, says he will continue to work for others still trapped.
I will never stop fighting for people to be treated in a humane way, particularly juveniles,
Someone who helps heal the sorrow will work on building our tomorrow. Someone who will.
Oh, God. That was silly.
Hold on, before you pay for yet.
This is ridiculous. No, we don't have to hear all that again. I am going to play this back, though. This baby looks so innocent, man. Look at her. Look at this young lady. 13 years old. Sentenced for being sexually abused by somebody that wasn't even a parent. This person wasn't even a family member.
My first memories of that time was a lady next door to me hanging herself.
Of confinement.
Manuel, now released from his prison cell, the bottle, as he described in his poem, says he will continue to work for others still trapped.
I will never stop fighting for people to be treated in a humane way, particularly juveniles.
Someone who helps heal the sorrow will work on building our tomorrow. Someone who refuses to leave me to die in this bottle. Thank you.
3 years in a row, efforts from state lawmakers to prohibit the Department of Corrections from placing youth offenders in solitary confinement or create specific policies and time limits if they were, failed. The most recent in 2021. With photojournalist Matt McGlashan, I'm I-Team reporter Kylie McGivern taking action for you.
You know, at one point I said that I wasn't going to do stories. I said that I wasn't going to do any stories when it came to children. And I found that it's been harder and harder for me to stay away from certain stories that's related to children, because I don't know, like, why would I stay away from stories that are related to children and those kids still suffering in a way that they honestly can't even speak about it, you know? And if the best way for me to take a deep breath and expose stuff like this, then that's what need to be done. See, the first thing that most people say is, oh, but look what she did. But a lot of people don't understand. I asked the question, what made you do it? What made you do it? Now, some people say, oh, it don't matter. It doesn't matter why he did it. It does matter. It matters in so many different ways. It matters in so many different ways because if someone is harming you and someone is hurting you and you honestly don't know any better, what's the thing that you're going to do other than retaliation? Now, let's remember, this young lady, she's been sentenced to prison when she was 13 years old. Mind you, it's 16 years later. I want to know what recourses would this young lady have had, because there was really no resources back then. So if there were no resources back then, like, what was the expectation to protect yourself? I mean, I can remember being that age, and I honestly can't even really tell you how much at that time I really even understood who a police was. The resources that we have right now today are totally different. The resources from today, they're totally different than what the resources were back then. So I'm honestly not understanding. And I want to look up some stories because I want to see other children, because the news always shows the children that go there that honestly should be in there. Especially when I see them killing their grandparents because they couldn't have a birthday party, or killing their parents because the mama said, don't bring your goddamn friends in my house. I mean, yes, you need to haul ass, you need to not come back. But what about us taking time to listen to these children? I want to know what jury would have sentenced this young lady to prison time like that when she's been molested and abused by someone without her permission, that's just violating her over and over and over. At what point did they consider she had the right to have a breaking point? This is some outright BS.
This teenager was convicted of attempted murder right here in Florida. They're among the youngest offenders in the country to be sentenced to prison as adults. And now our I-Team is listening to what they experienced in prison, especially their time in solitary.
I could imagine what they experienced in prison, because when I had to go just in the holding cell down in Broward County, the nastiest, filthiest, the most disgusting place, I wouldn't even recommend rats lick out of there. And it was just so, it was so surreal. It was so disgusting. I'm talking about looking at the commodes, looking at the water on the floor. And they had the galls to have the queen up in there. I said, y'all done bumped y'all goddamn head. When I tell you, I'm still so upset on the inside. I want people to stop judging people from their past. Even though, yes, some may say that's what they got to do with it. Got a lot to do with it, because anybody that know me know that I also run a story daily about Anton Massey. And I'm about to play Anton Massey. Why? Because Anton Massey got sentenced to 4. Anton Massey he just turned 33 years old. He just did 14 years in prison. But his sister, with her talking ass, she said that he's had a problem. He's seen his daddy get killed. Then his mom went away for 14 years or 15 years. So he went away as a teenager. His life started off wrong. But I'm just wondering, are the laws fair for certain groups? Because I find it so surreal that the law actually will put one of these teens in prison for life for robbery. Now, this young man, if I'm not mistaken, again, I'm about to listen to it again, because I like to listen to a story and then honestly, I like to dissect that story. I'm just doing it live today. My problem with it is, this young man, if I'm not mistaken, he shot the young lady that he was trying to rob. She lived and she survived. And they sentenced him to a hefty sentence. And the young lady he shot rallied for his release. So I want to play this again.
Military confinement.
Nothing had mentally prepared me for what I was going to experience.
That's Ian Manuel. He was sentenced to life without parole, but a Supreme Court ruling allowed his sentence to be reduced.
And since his release, he's fought to change how Florida prisons treat their youngest inmates. New tonight, I-Team investigator reporter Kylie McGivern brings us this story from the very beginning.
I'm in downtown Tampa, across from City Hall and the police department, where Ian Manuel shot Debbie Bakery in a botched robbery in 1990 at 13 years old. She would go on to forgive Manuel and petition for his release. We traveled to West Palm Beach recently, where he spoke at a conference about prisoners re-entering society.
One of the first poems I wrote was called Genie in the Bottle, and it's about growing up in solitary confinement. I'm the genie in the bottle the world has forgot. They put me in this abyss and closed up the top. I was a little boy when they did what they did, but time continued to tick, and I'm no longer a kid.
I tapped into the depths of my imagination to survive. I started writing poetry, and poetry sustained me.
They say being lonely and alone are two different definitions, but it's only me in this bottle. So I fit both descriptions.
When I first walked into the Florida Department of Corrections on May 10th, 1991.
We're showing when Manuel was booked because of his young age. It's because of that, Manuel says, he was first placed in solitary confinement.
It was just something very difficult for a child to have to experience. It stunted my development.
Manuel would spend 18 years in various levels of confinement and shared his story to a room that included employees from the Department of Corrections.
I've never spoken to a crowd with DOC officials in the audience, particularly people that were in charge of my confinement.
To be clear, Florida isolates children in both its adult and juvenile facilities. But instead of solitary confinement, the Department of Corrections calls the practice close management. And there are 3 different levels of restrictions. No one from the department would do an interview, but instead, FDC sent us a statement saying close management is used only when an inmate's behavior presents a clear threat to the safety of others or the orderly operations of the institution. FSU's Juvenile Solitary Confinement Project, through public records requests, has estimated that on any given day, 26% of juveniles sentenced as adults are in confinement.
Think about it really as state sanctions and state sponsored child abuse.
Marsha Levick is the co-founder of Juvenile Law Center.
It's the first nonprofit public interest law firm for children in the country.
What would you say to folks who say, well, these are children who made a very adult decision when they committed these crimes, and this is the punishment?
Well, the first thing I would say is that's a ridiculous statement.
Thank you.
Because kids are not making adult decisions when they commit crime. They are still developing, and that their ability to make smart decisions is not fully developed.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask that question then, because this young lady, this same young lady that's on here, the one that's getting ready to speak, she was in prison. She's home now. She was in prison for 16 years. She made a decision to kill the lady that was sexually molesting and abusing her. So as a kid, she made that decision, but I'm wondering, would I put her in the category of making that decision as a mental thing or an adult thing because she thought about it? Or did she make that decision out of fear? Because I don't know, for me, if I would cross mental over fear, or if I would even equate them together, because you're not going to tell me like either I have a mental problem, or I stood there in a certain mental and I was thinking as an adult on what I should do, or was it really fear in me saying, you know what, I don't know, because this lady gonna hurt me. So I'm wondering, would I equate anything dealing with mental versus dealing with fear when we're talking about this particular situation with this young lady? And if there's anybody out there that have any questions, or you have anything that you want to say, either put it in the chat, you can call me, or come and join me on the stage. I'm just a bit concerned that there are more kids than the norm that are introduced in the prison system and being sentenced as adults. And even if they're not being sentenced as adults, they're being mistreated as adults in the prison system. And I'm going to use myself as an example. My nephew, my biracial nephew, of course, because y'all know white people, I will get y'all asses. But you also know black people, I will eat your asses up too. So I'm biracial. Because it don't matter to me, because I said it. Now what? And my nephew is biracial. At the end of the day, he got inside a jail system as a juvenile in Pennsylvania. And one of the deputies literally broke my nephew's arm because my nephew said something back to him. And the problem with it was, oh my goodness. The problem with it was, the only reason why anybody found out about it is a counselor came to visit my nephew, and my nephew made a move and he couldn't help but admit that his arm was hurting. So being that this counselor knew you didn't go in there like that, what happened? And my nephew tried to hide it, but he couldn't, because thank the Lord, the right person came in and didn't overlook it. Like how they told this young lady, if you recant your story, we'll let you out of the box. Or we'll let you out of solitary confinement. I'm confused. So you guys are also in there as adults manipulating the teenagers that even go in there and be treated as adults.
Catherine Jones works for the Campaign for the Fair Sentencing of Youth.
Helping them get the resources and the tools they need to adjust to a free society.
Jones can speak to the challenges because she lived it. At 13 years old, she and her 12-year-old brother were among the first juveniles in the country to be sentenced as adults for the murder of their father's girlfriend.
I shot Nicole Spates.
With a firearm.
Yes, sir.
No. And then I hate when they ask dumbass questions like that with a firearm. No, dumbass, I shot her with a goddamn slingshot. I shot her with an egg. I shot her with I shot her with my middle finger. Here's to you. I mean, why would I hate when they ask dumbass, stupid, retarded ass questions like that? Like y'all already know what she shot the lady with. See, it's stuff like that that honestly, I feel like they try to further belittle you. And you got to like they want you to beg through the system. Man, like I'm for real. Like just say you already know what she did. You got the copy, you got the paperwork. Y'all done had her admitted 1,000 times. She's telling you what she did. I'm sure she never doubted it or denied it.
Never wanted to be interpreted.
Why didn't you want to be interpreted? You should have been. At the end of the day, listen. I'm looking at this young lady, and y'all don't understand way people that's been hurt on the inside. If she could sit up right now today and she's holding herself accountable and she genuinely in her heart, and I'm not being funny, she genuinely feel what she did was the right thing to do. If she feel what she did was the right thing to do, or if she feel like what she did was the wrong thing to do, all I'm gonna tell this young lady right here is this: however you feel about it, you make sure on your heart that's your true feelings, God damn it. And I feel you're supposed to stand on that. I don't care what they said. They can say whatever they want to say. Stand firm on that. Clear your heart. If you feel like what you did was right, God damn it, say that's what you feel. I feel like what I did was right. Don't give them no other excuse. Like for me, I don't want to hear people tell me the other side of it. The other side of it always gives an answer. But what about the goddamn truth? The truth of the matter is you did it and you glad you did it. And me, because I'm that type of person and I said it, and you could say, hey, with a situation like this, you can say it with respect or you can say it without all bets off. All bets off, because for me, you already told your story, and you told your story to me that it was me and her. And honestly, I had nobody else I could talk to about it. And I did what I thought I was supposed to do. And I feel like, see, this is the thing. This is where people just need to learn how to tell the truth. Tell the truth. I'm telling you, just tell them. See, people, one thing about people, they hate the truth. They hate it. That's why everywhere I go, I sit on somebody's stank ass stage. You know what they do? They go against me, or they doubt me, or they this, they that, the other. You know why? Because when I tell them the truth of the matter is this: I did it. I did it, and I ain't taking it back. You ain't got to take it back. Don't take it back if you feel in your heart. See, what people don't get, you could tell people anything out their mouth, but you got to live within you. You got to live around you. You got to live on top of you. You got to live because of you. Can't nobody take it away from you. When you can't nobody get up out of you. Can't nobody get in you. It just don't happen like that. And when I say they can't get in or out, that means they cannot get your heart. Because if a person take your heart, you might as well say, hey, goodbye. I don't exist no more. This ain't nothing but a shell. I want her to start protesting that I did what I did. And don't take it back. You know why, lady? You don't sit here and be apologetic. Don't be apologetic. The reason why I'm telling her not to be apologetic, because what about the little girl that sits next to you that went through this, that's going through the same thing that you're going through now, and you want her to be apologetic for being abused? So you tell that little girl, what I did it back then because I couldn't help it, because I felt like it was me or her. And at that time, I chose me. This pisses me off. Like, I hate when people want you to get in front of them and tell them what they want you to hear. Man, God damn, I'm not telling you what you want me to hear. I'm telling you, God damn it, what my mouth said, what my heart feel, what my mind know, and that's the end of it. So guess what? Just because a kid did something, why don't we learn how to talk to them about it? I mean, what jury did this young lady have? I don't want to hear nothing about her reputation. But she was a bad teen. Man, your mama was bad. Your children bad right now. Your grandmama then was bad. She was bad because she was being treated bad. People always got an excuse. That's why for me, I go with the defense. Unless, of course, I was on the defense side and you tricked me and now I got to get you. I ain't joking. Y'all want an attorney? Y'all better be glad. That's one of the things I wanted to go to school for, but I wanted to be an attorney of common sense. You don't learn it in no damn school. That's another man teaching you. And when I say man, that's a what or a man. So don't be dummies. Don't come for me because y'all already know how I feel about things. I hate when people lie. Like, you don't have to tell a lie about things. I'm going to go back to it again. The guy found me. I was on Kendra G, Knuckle Sandwich Head. He said that I lied. I said, lied about what, dude? What did I lie about? Oh, you lied because when she asked you about if you still married, you told her yes. Yes. Because you said that you was going through a divorce. Yes. If I'm separated right now, my goddamn mind, I'm going through a divorce. When I could get this lawyer, when we can get in this courtroom, I'm feeling that. But I don't know what I lied about. He said I lied. Well, when she asked you about the divorce, you said that you was working on yourself for 3 years. I said, man, please. Man, I'm saying to myself, Lord, would you please tell people what working on yourself mean when you got to go under the ground and you can't breathe down there because ain't nothing on top of you but dirt. I said, I don't have to relive this with this knucklehead. Man, you want to know how I feel when a person tell you that they had to find themselves? Man, you want to know how that feel? Ask this young lady right here. I'm sure she could tell you better than me because her pain and her hurt was different than mine. I guarantee you, she could tell you how she had to go under the ground and she had to find who she was. She had to find it. And I want her to keep it. But when she keep it this time, I want her to do not, listen, you done held yourself accountable. Why? Because they done sentence you. Stop it. You done. Stand firm in what you're doing. No, I did it. I did it because I felt like I was doing the right thing. I did it because I felt like it was me or her. I did it. But let me help you today. Let me help you today. Let me help you. Let me help you, kid. If any kids out there, let me help you. What she's trying to say to you is she did it. She can't take it back. She can't take the abuse on top of the abuse, on top of the abuse, on top of the abuse, on top of the abuse. She just got free and ain't being abused now, but she gonna beat herself up if she don't accept accountability, say she did what she did, and she ain't taking it goddamn back. But I'm in a position today to help you not do what I did. But she cleared on the inside. That's it. That's what I try to tell people. Just keep it real. Listen. And I'm going to do a reaction on this. I was visiting a house last night. And a lady came up. And this lady went in. See, when I first flew in, I heard the young lady that I had seen on the stage. I did like 2 stages with her before. And I was saying to myself, I say, see, I can't even go back to her house. This is the young lady. I was like, yeah, I can't go back to her house because, man, she take the floor and don't give you a chance when you're a guest over there. So that was the second time I visited that I seen her. So last night, I'm flying through and I seen that she was live at someone's house. And I'm saying to myself, okay, let me go in there. So I got in there, I listened for a second, and it was something pertaining to her and money and asking people for money because she was in need and this right here and that right there. So when I heard that, I went in because I was going to go in and say, oh, you over here stealing money. But when I heard her say that, my heart went differently. So I said, you know what? I said, well, wait a minute. Now I say, hey, friend, even though she's not my friend, she never come and visit me. She don't watch my videos. She don't like it. She ain't subscribed to me, even though whatever. But when I came in, like we do at times, women do it. What's up, friend? That was it. I finds out through her, somebody accusing her because she was having hard times and she didn't have the money and and I'm saying to myself, okay, so what's wrong with that? If you got money from other people, there's nothing wrong with that. But see, here's the thing about being defensive too soon. You got to hear the other side of the story. You can't just assume what you want to assume. You got to hear both sides of the story, and I'll be very clear on that. The problem with it is when the other side of the story came in, the other side of the story was bashing. She did this. Nope. Bam. She got a nonprofit organization and she's stealing. Bam. She's scamming people. She ain't giving it back. Bam. And bam. And she was hitting her in the head with this one. Oh, and I'm trying to loosen up the air a little bit because when I tell you, she went to chopping that ass like Pac-Man. I say, God damn, did she eat a power pellet? She was eating that ass up at like Takamati Ninja, one of my subscribers, my men on the panel. He got in the Pac-Man game the other day and he was gone. I said, man, I'll beat him in the game. I can tell already. Y'all know I'm a gambler. Love it all. Y'all better see my spades back there in my book. Y'all don't see my book of spades? Right there in that seat. You better know it. The lady came and threw so many receipts on her. I said, you got any pies? I wanted to know did Patty have any pies because she was throwing them goddamn pies in the oven at that girl. I said, girl, you ain't got a bit of help. The girl tapped out and got offline. She got her ass offline so quick. I said, here's the problem with that. Man, I don't give a damn what you do. Man, you take a deep breath and stay. Listen, I don't care if you're the biggest hoe. You let them know what type of hoe you was. And if you was one of them classy type hoes and you was able to take them down just like that, then guess what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to stand in your hoism. I feel you're supposed to stand in your damn hoism. Why won't you stand in your hoism? I say you stand firm on whoever you are and whatever you did, and you leave it just like that. The problem with it was this young lady tapped out. I don't tap out. I drop out. When I drop out is when I clear the room, and then I send y'all in a whole nother conversation. Ask them once when I drop on their stage what I do, because I don't say goodbyes. When I don't at you in a sticky note, they know what it is. Well, y'all will learn what atting somebody in a sticky note is. But when you notice I don't at you in a sticky note, then that you ain't a friend of mine. I don't want to come back to your house no more because sometimes I don't like urbans. Durbans, you know what I mean. Hey, Herb. That's just one of the stalkers that like me. Kool-Aid. The problem with it was when she left, she left the right footprint. See, because me, and I'm going to take you back to the Anton Massey story. And I know we're talking about this. Stick with me. Like I told Anton Massey's sister, who allegedly broke him out or helped him. Guess what? You got an opportunity to turn state and state defense. And you better utilize it. Why? Because you know the deep, dirty, dark ass secrets that they hold over there in the Orleans Parish jail. And because you know the secrets that they hold, they want to take you down. I say, girl, you take every goddamn deputy down with you. You stand in it. Listen to what I'm telling you. Yes, I did it. Yes, I did it. Am I going to get my chance to speak? Oh, let me speak to my lawyer. Hey, lawyer, I got witnesses. Subpoena they ass to get to court. I'm going to bring the whole entire system down. And I just said I did it. So, hey, girl from last night, all you got to do is say you did it. But guess what? It's a such thing as doing something and learning your lesson from it. Stand in it. You did it. If you did it, it's okay. You did it? Okay. So you did it. What? I did it. Now what? But I don't know who you talk about. I did it to, but I'm telling you I did it. You covered your ass. I did it. I didn't pin myself to nobody, but I'm telling you what I did. Okay? I did it. And when I get ready to react to that video, I'm going to tell her, all you got to do is own it. Because when you own it from here, then you'll be able to let it go. That's what the problem is. People don't know how to own stuff from the inside so that they can let it go. And it'll show on the outside. Because me, when I tell you I've let it go. Just let it go. Sometimes it be hard. It's hard. But you got to learn how to live with yourself first. And for me, it's a part of you got to go underground. And anybody will tell you I went underground. I went so far under the ground. Y'all see I'm on strike. I went under the ground. I might come back up here and I might be done cut all my damn hair off. Douglas flew in, and Douglas said, if you're old enough to take another person's life, then you're old enough to do the time. Other crimes you can get leniency and a second chance, but taking a person's life, that a person is gone forever. Okay, Douglas. I wonder if Douglas is still in the house. I wonder if Douglas is still in the house, because if Douglas is still in the house, me and Douglas got some words to rumble with. And you better know it, Douglas. And see, Douglas, here's the thing with me. When you come for me with conversations like this, I hope that you're really ready and prepared. I mean, because you're talking about if you old enough to take a person's life. So stop right there. See, what I hate when people do, see, when y'all fly in and y'all talk to a person like me, you got to come with etiquette. Use some better etiquette first. The first thing you did when you came and tortured me, you forgot to say hello, queen. The next thing you did, you're giving me a whole run-on sentence. You gave me a whole goddamn run-on sentence. You ain't put no commas there. You didn't put any periods there. You ain't put any backlashes there. You ain't put any quotation marks there. You just put a whole goddamn 4 sentences together. You must not know me very well, buddy. You didn't come in and give me a whole goddamn sentence like that. No, you should have did commas and periods. Because you say if you old enough. I wonder what old enough means. Because for me, I would have put a comma there. The reason why I would have put a comma there, because if you old enough, let's understand what if you old enough mean. So if you old enough to be touching on my goddamn brownie cakes without my goddamn permission, is you old enough for that, boy? Did you just come in my place of house and insult me like this? And you see I'm talking serious business? See, you forgot the comma. If you old enough, that's a topic right there, dummy. That's a topic, Douglas. If you old enough. So who was old enough to be touching on this 13-year-old? Who was old enough? I mean, we starting with old enough, ain't we? See, that was a comma. See, you started the sentence off wrong. You came in here and bumped your head. And then now you can't stand up like a man. To take another person's life. Put a period there. What do you mean? So I want to know, does any part of that indicate that a life was already taken before one was taken away? To take another person's life. What did this lady, what did our accuser do? She took another person's life. No, but stop right there. But was her life taken though? See, y'all want to talk about the other side. I hate talking about, I hate other siders. Man, see, this is where you don't talk to me, don't play with me, go away. You're idiots. You don't make any kind of common sense to me. See, if we even take it back to Carmelo Anthony. See, y'all want to skip all through the woods, but you can't do that though. You got to start to the front of the woods first. And the front of the woods said, yes, Carmelo Anthony had a knife in his backpack. But the problem with it is, how did you know he had a knife in his backpack? Like, what happened? What happened to make that knife be shown and seen? I just hate when people get me out of such character. I'm serious. This is why I like my Men Only Live, because then I get to go there and just calm down and read comments, but not stupid ones. I mean, because if I have to dissect this whole book, I don't even want to call this a Bible. Because the average person will send this comment right here to Revelations. But see, here's the problem with that. We're in the times of Revelations, idiots. So why would I send him somewhere to give him an answer? He came here and gave me all of this, and it makes no sense to me. I mean, come on. And then I'm going to tell you why he gave me further insult to further injury. I want to understand how you came up in him and used the letter D. So if you old enough, the deceased, what age did she have to be touching on your daughter inappropriately? Because we're talking about age. I mean, come on, y'all. Okay, just to be fair for the non-understanding followers, Douglas Anderson wrote in and he said, if you're old enough to take another person's life, then you're old. See, when I read and tell stories, y'all can tell where karma's supposed to be at. You could tell where a period should have stopped that, because I take a lot of time right there. I mean, he said so many things. I always tell the story. Kevin Samuels, rest his blessed soul. He did a 60-second short. I turned his 60-second short into a 59-minute video. And this knucklehead right here came and said so much stuff, and I got to break it up and use the punctuation for him. Y'all done lost y'all damn mind. Or did I? If you old enough, that should have been a period, because that's a topic, to take another person's life, that should have been a period, because that's a topic. Then you're old enough. God damn it, that's another period. That's a period. That's a period. That's a period. That's another period. That's a period. I mean, how many periods this man gonna give me? Hey, y'all, how many periods this man gonna give me in one sentence? Man, did you see what you did? You made me get that ring light. I didn't want people to know I had a ring light. You forced me in a zone. I didn't want to stay in this zone. But I want to know, what was Douglas thinking when Douglas flew in and said all of this idiotic? What if you're old enough to take a life? And the thing of it is, what no one's going to understand is, he's talking, when he made this statement, I was talking about this young lady. This young lady went to prison for murdering her dad's girlfriend, for sexually abusing and abusing her. But just abuse. And she was 13 years old, and she did 16 years in prison. And while she was in prison, she was in solitary confinement, which I'm going to let her tell the story. But while in prison, she further was abused by the deputy. And they coerced her into filling out a letter to retract her statement. And they basically did it because they allowed her to recant her statement, but they let her out the box to do it. And if you're old enough to take a person's life, then you're old enough to die, to do the time. Yes, that's true. But what about those ones that are in there doing excessive time? What about the ones, because see, it ain't about, are you old enough to do the time? That's not. And then see how he come in and he throw everything all off, because this knuckle sandwich head just flew in and made a mockery of me. He flew in and made a mockery of the whole dictation of what we're talking about. But I'm glad he did, because he's a knuckle sandwich head. That's a knuckle sandwich head. Now, bye, Douglas. I would die. Other crimes you can get. Other crimes you can get leniency for. Huh. Kool-Aid. I'm wondering. I'll come back to you, Douglas. And you know I'm gonna come back to you. That when I talk about my experiences of the trauma, the abuse, the sexual abuse that happened to me when I was younger, that somehow that sounds like justification because, you know, the victim is the person who's no longer living. But the truth of the matter is I was a 13-year-old girl that was sexually abused by a convicted sex offender that was allowed in my space. The system did fail. Nothing was done about it. So at that point, I felt like everybody is responsible for what's happened. Nobody's stopping this. And all I knew was that I wanted it to be done and I wanted to be out of that house. And so I made the decision to do something about it, a decision that I deeply, deeply regret.
Jones got out of that house, but went into being housed in the Florida Department of Corrections for 16 years, months at a time in solitary confinement.
Solitary confinement was a version of what I feel would be hell on earth. One of my first memories of that time was a lady next door to me hanging herself. And I only got out of solitary confinement because a male guard sexually assaulted me. And so they told me if I wrote a statement retracting what I said, saying I misunderstood what he did, that they would release me out of confinement.
I wish that it was within my power to take people out of confinement.
Manuel, now released from his prison cell, the bottle, as he described in his poem, says he will continue to work for others still trapped.
I will never stop fighting for people to be treated in a humane way, particularly juveniles.
Someone who helps heal the sorrow will work on building our tomorrow. Someone who refuses to leave me to die in this bottle. Thank you.
3 years in a row, efforts from state lawmakers to prohibit the Department of Corrections from placing youth offenders in solitary confinement or create specific policies and time limits if they were, failed. The most recent in 2021. With photojournalist Matt McGlashan, I'm my team reporter Kylie.
I know one thing. At the end of the day, you got a lot of teens that are in prison. And I'm sure the mistreatment of these teens, I mean, because imagine, even if you did turn legally and of age and you're 18 years old and you end up in prison with somebody, even though it's different levels to it, but that don't mean the level is the same of mentality. And I don't know what you do about that other than you got to find a way to keep your ass out of there. But what about those people that can't keep their ass out of there? Because this young lady was being physically abused and sexually abused. This is another story. I haven't seen this story. So my opinion might not be the same over here. I have no clue. But I'm going to listen to whatever this story is.
Emotional day in court for the family of Pamela Cabrales, speaking directly to her convicted killer before his sentencing. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Lawrence Gaffidi. Cabrales was killed in the middle of Colfax after a minor fender bender. 9 News reporter Jeremy Hahola was in court today. And Jeremy, what did the family have to say?
Scene, which is happening right now. The judge is actually literally giving the sentencing right now, and we may give that to you in this newscast later. Remy Cordova is expected to receive a life sentence, but it's possible when he receives his sentence, he could be paroled in 40 years because he was a juvenile when he was charged and arrested. Cordova was 14 years old when prosecutors say he fired 8 shots into the car driven by Pamela Cabrales, over a minor traffic accident. She accidentally bumped into the car he was in at Colfax and I-25 back in February of 2021, nearly 4 years ago. Cabriales was killed at age 32 and left behind a little boy. She was becoming a successful real estate agent at the time and recently bought her first home for her and her son. Cordova was convicted of first-degree murder this past November as an adult. Her family was also in court this afternoon and asked for the full maximum sentence. Many of them spoke to the court this afternoon and described how the killing really devastated their family. Here's what Pamela's brother had to say, along with what Cordova himself just now told the judge.
Every day she chose to live for others, to make a difference, to brighten her son's world, and to bring love and warmth to her family and friends. But all of that was taken from her in one senseless moment, taken by someone who had no regard for the fullness of her life.
But I cannot take responsibility for something that I did not do.
So there, Cordova told the judge that he's not the person responsible for killing Pamela Cabriales. His attorney has indicated to the court they plan to appeal. We're going to jump back in the courtroom now and listen in on the judge. Back to you.
All right, Jeremy, we'll let you get right back to it. Thank you so much. Aurora police are providing new details about an 18-year-old accused of trying to blackmail students over nude photos. APD believes Jameer Bright tried to extort students from 6 area high schools and 2 middle schools.
That's weird.
Her life.
But I cannot take responsibility.
What the hell? Where was that on this story? He said, but I cannot take responsibility. So I got to find, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got to find out because where is this story at? Remy Cordova. Because I wonder what he said. I can't pull this little man up. Remy Cordova. Let me see what they said his name is again.
Convicted killer before his sentencing. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Lawrence Gafidi. Cabriales was killed in the middle of Colfax after a minor fender bender. 9 News reporter Jeremy Hahola was in court today. And Jeremy, what did the family have to say?
Scene which is happening right now. The judge is actually literally giving the sentencing right now, and we may give that to you in this newscast later. Remy Cordova is
Okay, Remy Cordova. Okay.
expected to receive a life sentence, but it's possible when he receives his sentence, he could be paroled in 40 years because he was a juvenile when he was charged and arrested. Cordova was 14 years old when prosecutors say he fired 8 shots into the car driven by Pamela Cabriales over a minor traffic accident. She accidentally bumped into the car he was in at Colfax and I-25 back in February of 2021, nearly 4 years ago. Cabriales was killed at age 32 and left behind a little boy. She was becoming a successful real estate agent at the time and recently bought her first home for her and her son. Cordova was convicted of first-degree murder this past November as an adult. Her family was also in court this afternoon and asked for the full maximum sentence. Many of them spoke to the court this afternoon and described how the killing really
I'm just so confused. Because where is the information? Let me bring y'all in. So I'm confused because 18-year-old Coloradan sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the Colfax auto slaying. A Denver judge on Thursday sentenced a teenager who murdered a woman at a traffic light on Colfax Avenue to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Because Remy was a juvenile convicted as an adult, he's eligible for parole. After 20 years, he may apply for a 3-year program to get a GED release after 23 years. Cordova was found guilty of first degree murder and attempted first degree murder last month for shooting and killing Colorado real estate agent Pamela at a traffic light in 2021, and also attempted to kill the driver of a different vehicle. Cordova was 14 when the shooting happened. As an adult, but he was charged as an adult because of the severity of the crime. Carbella was shot, severely injured when she was driving. What the hell? Prosecutor said Cordova shot into her vehicle with an AR-15. I've never heard of this story. In the courtroom on Thursday evening, Cordova, who has maintained that he is innocent. Wait a minute now. Because this one says, I want you all to know I really feel for y'all. I understand completely the pain that you guys feel, but I cannot. Listen, he said, I mean, how surreal is this? Because this is my first time ever hearing this story. And I just said, man, God damn, man. He said it again. He said, I want you all to know I really feel for y'all. I understand completely the pain that you guys feel, but I cannot take responsibility for something I did not do. See, I will have to, man. Carbelo's left behind a young man and a son, left a young son. Her ex-husband and father of that child testified during sentence hearing that the struggle the boy has gone through. This sentence will ensure that Remy Cordova is held accountable and pays a significant price. I wonder what's the price tag. The price tag for him is significant. Damn, I don't want to light this firecracker. But I got something that I want to look for. Because I want to see if the price of gold is always the same. Let me see. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find this video. that I want to play, and I want to see why is it that sometimes the price of gold ain't the same. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Y'all know I don't like to get like this because it makes no sense. I'll just view them all and come back to it because I just know the price of gold don't be the same sometimes. And I really don't be understanding why. Like, why is it that, because they're admitting, they say that the price of gold, they say he paid a significant, y'all know what the word significant mean. He paid a significant price. And I want to know, but he said he didn't do it. So I do need to look the story up because I need to know more of what happened. Because honestly, that honestly don't give me anything. It doesn't give me anything because he said that he didn't do it. I don't know, like how did they get his car? Like, what happened? And if anybody know that story, drop it. Because I'm like really, really curious as to the price. Because the man just said it. Y'all seen it for yourself. The man said he is paying a significant price. I wonder what's a significant price. Yep, I'm looking forward. And I'm enjoy looking forward too. That was a significant price. And I'm just concerned why I want to watch it, because if he say he didn't do it, I'm just wondering. What evidence did they have? And he's getting sentenced to life. See, I could have played this one too. This is ridiculous. Because I'm trying to understand when they say what the price. But it seems like, to me, honestly, it be seeming like the price of gold don't be the same. Because the man said that he's paying a significant price. My problem with it is, and I'm not going to make any more judgments on it, I want to see the entire story, and I haven't been able to pull it up, but I'm going to go back into it and see, because I see that they said it happened 3 years ago, but the video that I just seen, it was from last year. I don't know why people like drag the videos out, drag the court dates out like that. Like, it makes no sense to me. I mean, he's been sitting in there all the time. And they really can't give me a reason why it takes so long. But I guess they say because they got to get evidence and they got to do this and they got to do that. Like, it always end up going to trial. Yeah, I was trying to see about this price of gold thing because it was just a little weird to me. The price was very significant. And thank you, anybody out there that came and support. Definitely appreciate you flying in. Y'all won't believe. You know what I could do? How about this? We can look at them together. All I'm doing is going through my videos, and maybe that might make me land on one of them. And because it's just one good one. I am trying, and I'm saying to myself, these ain't my videos. How the hell? Where all of these come up in here? What the? Maybe they was. Y'all see Gotten. Y'all don't see brownie cakes right there? That's my sage. Y'all ain't gonna believe these are me. Why I'm called a woman hater, but women love Kevin Samuels. I should play that. Y'all see that girl? Oh my goodness. I was really sick. This was back in December. This when I say the men was snooping, little snoopy crawlers. Brownie cakes. Oh, I got to show y'all this. Y'all got to see this one. Wait a minute. This girl is horrible. Wait. If I could play it. Oh. What the hell? What the hell?
What I got, because her was being mean to me.
What the hell? It ain't me. It's this. I don't know what the thing did. Okay, wait a minute now. Okay, wait. Y'all see it? It wasn't me.
What I got, because her was being mean to me. So I said, I'm going to knock your stuff down.
That girl be having me laughing, man. What in the hell? I got to play this one time because I was sidetracked. Y'all better know who my.
What I got, because her was being mean to me. So I said, I'm going to knock your stuff down.
I don't know. Her.
What I got, because her was being.
It didn't have nothing to do with me. She was arguing with her grandma. And they had absolutely nothing to be with me. Nothing. What the hell?
What I got, because her was being.
I'm hitting the back.
Her was being mean to me. So I said, I'm going to knock your stuff down.
What the hell? Who told that to go out there? No, go back up there. Damn idiot thing. Well, guess what? I can't even show y'all. I cannot show y'all what happened. But I was going to show y'all where the price seems like it's never the same. You know what I mean? It's like the price, like, I guess before I say anything, I'm going to make sure that I go and I find this particular video. Because I'm wondering why he's definitely saying that he's innocent. He said, I'm innocent. He said, I'm sorry. Because he even said it on here. Wait a minute. Stop. Yep, right here. Where is he at? How did they put all of that in here? Oh, it's the latest headlines. Right there.
Taken by someone who had no regard for the fullness of her life.
But I cannot take responsibility for something that I did not do.
I wonder why 3 years later he said he didn't do it. I wonder what happened. He said it last year too. This happened in 2021. Cordova was 14 years old. Okay. So this young man is getting sentenced, and from what they're saying, he's going to be sentenced to life. But for some reason, he said he didn't do it. And I noticed all the stories, like all the stories over here, is basically just saying what happened now. So weird. I wonder what happened. Wow. Oh, let me put up another one. Wait a second. Y'all thought we was over? Where is it at? Wonder which one that is. Oh, I was looking at that young man. Let me bring y'all over there. So I'm looking at this young man. Let me see. Oh, share this tab. There we go. So I'm just looking. Your browser. Why is it saying my browser has lost juvenile life without parole? Teen, that's we just seen him, that's Remy. Children in adult prison. I guess they say in the United States is highly populated. Cruel and unusual. All children are in. Was 13 years old when he was charged as an adult with sexual assault and sentenced to die. What the heck? Wait. This say Joe Sullivan was sentenced to die in Florida prison for a non-homicide offense when he was 13 years old. But he ended up being released after 25 years. Joe Sullivan is one of only two 13-year-olds in the country who were sentenced to life without parole for an offense that did not involve a killing. In 1989, Joe was a mentally disabled 13-year-old child living in a home where he was regularly subjected to physical and sexual abuse. On the day of the crime, two older brothers convinced Joe to participate in a burglary. The three boys entered an empty home. Two older boys entered an empty home, and one older boy took some money and jewelry before they left. That afternoon, the elderly homeowner was sexually assaulted in her home. She never saw her attacker. One of the older boys, who may have been the true assailant, accused Joe of sexual battery. Both older boys received short sentences in juvenile detention. The 13-year-old Joe Sullivan was charged and tried as an adult. Joe was tried by a 6-person jury. And in one day proceedings opening and they closed and they called him guilty. Biological evidence collected from the victim was not presented at trial and was destroyed before it could be subjected to DNA. Joe's appointed lawyer, who was later disbarred, did not object to a voice identification of Joe by the victim, who was blindfolded during the assault, that she had first rehearsed with the prosecutor before repeating it to the jury. Joe was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of the parole. Even though Joe was the youngest person in the country sentenced to die, his lawyer filed a brief appeal saying there were no issues to challenge in his case. I wonder was Joe even strong enough? 13 years old. Was Joe really strong enough to handle? How old was this lady? How old? I doubt I seen her age. I must have skipped her. Because I'm elderly. Was Joe at 13 years old strong enough to handle that elderly lady? Like, what's elderly? And you know what? That was about to take me, and Lord Jesus, I wish I could find this video. Now I'm really about to be on the hunt. I'm not joking. I got to find this video now because I want to know, like, what's the price of gold these days? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring this video back because I'm gonna leave this up so I could discuss this. And I'm going to bring this particular video back so we can further discuss these young teens that are being charged and crimed as adults. And I'm wondering how many of them are innocent. This your girl, Queen Didi, with Didi Said It. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you don't do anything else, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. Get to know me. Definitely appreciate you flying in. Appreciate you landing. Boom. And I'll talk to you in a few.
They wonder how I do it like that. Two-step, then I bring it right back.